Rob Stone, 2 damn phones, Babylons can't crack the code. Used to see.
Yo, what is up, guys? Welcome back to another Clash of Clans episode. Today is going to be a special video discussing the good stuff and the bad stuff of the 2016 December Christmas update of Clash of Clans. But before we get into the video, make sure to subscribe to this channel and of course like this video for more awesome content. So without further ado, let's get right into the video. So the first thing I want to talk about from this update is the level 12 walls, and in my opinion that's probably the worst part about this update. Now the reason is not the fact that they made the walls go up to level 12, it's the way that they are graphically designed. They look like level 3 walls with like a small gold thing at the bottom, and honestly it needs to be changed. I've seen a couple of images of people photoshopping and making different variations of what they should look like, and honestly they look a lot better. I'm not a huge fan of the white sort of design that they want to go for Town Hall 11, but if that's already what they're planning to do, they need to add something for those level 12 walls just to make them look a little bit better. So in my opinion, not one of the best things that came out of this update, but it's here and we gotta deal with it. So up next we've got the level 10 Wizard Towers, and the reason I put this on the bad list is not because they made the level 10 Wizard Tower once again just like the walls. I do not like the graphical design. If you take a look at the level 7 Wizard Tower, it looks kind of scary. It has the spikes, the purple spikes. It looks like a magical place, just like the wizard should be. But now, the more you go, like level 9 has a little bit of white stuff. I didn't get what that was from the beginning. But now, this level 10 Wizard Tower has like this sort of old-fashioned bricky castle design that is going away completely from like the magical mystical design, and it's really not good. Like, we just went from mystical and magical to like a hunk of bricks that are painted white. It's not a good design. They need to go back to like I said before, like the shiny whatever, the dark, not the shiny, the dark one, like spiky. But like this design, not good at all. They need to change it up. So they also made them available at Town Hall 10 for level 9 Wizard Towers, which are not bad honestly. I don't really think it's gonna affect it that much. I didn't see the need for it, but you know, whatever works. That's my thoughts on the level 10 Wizard Towers. So that pretty much wraps it up for all of the bad things. Obviously not a very long list, but now I'm gonna talk about the things in between, the things that I consider that are not good or they're not bad. So obviously the first one is not really a major one, but it's basically the overall graphic design of the new troops when you're attacking. You know, you got the little squares at the bottom that tell you which troop is which. So they made a new design for all of the troops basically, in terms of graphics, and in my opinion most of them are pretty good. For example, I really like the new balloons, the lava hounds, and the hog riders, but except for that, all of them, they're okay in my opinion. I didn't think it was really a need to change them, but I think it's something to give a little bit of freshness to the game. Feel like it's something new, and overall I would give this a positive rating. I would put this on the good list except for the king and queen looks of their, you know, their logo, and I don't think it's a step towards the right direction. It's a very weird type of look that they gave the king and queen. Like, the king is supposed to look tough, but in this he just looks like some weird guy. I don't know how to explain it, but the king and queen emblems, and I'm not really a big fan of them. So that's why this part of the update makes it into the neutral list. So now onto some of the good things from the update, and keep in mind that most of this affects Town Hall 11 only, but some of them actually do affect lower Town Hall levels. So starting off, we're gonna start off here with the Barbarian King levels 41 through 45, and the Archer Queen also levels 41 through 45. I'm not really sure what the huge point of it was. I think maybe they tested it or something, that it would be slightly easier to 3-star. I mean, obviously it will, but I don't know. I think 40-40 was enough, and maybe they were just bored because it's been a couple years already since the level 40 heroes were released. Maybe they decided it was time for some new levels, so I can completely understand that. But overall, it's good because it boosts offensive power. So we've also got Golems level 6. I like that they made Golems level 6 because they're just needed. Not many people are using Golems anymore, and that's just because of spam attacks and different types of strategies, really. And Golem level 6, maybe it'll just bring it back. And the graphical design on the Golem level 6, once again, I do not like the graphical design. It's like a level 5 Golem with like less color scheme on it, like less saturation on the colors. But I feel like they could have done something a little bit better with it. I mean, give it some like something that it stands out of the base or something. Make it look cool. It's maxed out Golem we're talking about here. But you know, whatever. I like the addition, so I'm putting this on the good side. So next we got the level 7 Hog Rider. Now you may think that this only affects Town Hall 11, but if you think that, you are wrong, because very few people at Town Hall 11 even use the Hog Rider at all, and adding a extra level to it, being the level 7 Hog Rider, it's not going to affect the amount that Town Hall 11 use it. Yeah, maybe they could use it for fun a little bit, maybe a little bit in Clan Wars versus Town Hall 10s or 9s, but Town Hall 11 versus Town Hall 11, no one uses Hog Riders, and that's simply because the Hog Rider spell that you must use with them is the heal spell. There's no other spell that works very well with him as much as the heal spell. So the reason is that no one's going to use this because Inferno Towers cancel them out, so pretty much making Hogs very weak. But the reason that this will affect lower Town Halls is because if you're Town Hall 8 or Town Hall 9 or even Town Hall 10 that uses Hog Riders, you will be able to store them inside of your clan castle, making your Go-Ho attacks, AGHB, Go-Vaho, plenty of attacks out there that will increase your offensive power. So I think that the Hog Rider level 7 was really a good addition to the lower town halls as well. So now we have the clan castle level 7. The graphical design on this one is not bad, I'm gonna say. This is probably the only one that I actually like from the update, but I mean, the clan castle level 7 is going to affect Town Hall 11, and that's an understatement, because I personally have a Town Hall 10.5, which is obviously a Town Hall 11, and I'm going to for sure get this as fast as I can, because I will be able to hold 6 elixir spells and 1 dark spell, or 3 dark spells and 5 elixir spells, and that is a big deal, because imagine having 6 elixir spells with you at all times. That's a really big deal. I'm gonna make sure to upgrade that. While it doesn't give you more troops, I think they did the right thing there, because an extra 5 troops would let you bring 2 dragons, which is a little bit more overpowered. Obviously there's a lot of different combinations you can bring, but just the thought of 2 dragons inside of a clan castle is a little bit too much. I think they could have made it 36, honestly, though, and that's not a random number that they chose. They chose 36 because you can fit 6 bowlers inside of there instead of 5, and then you have to bring a giant or whatever. So I think they should have made it 36 and added that extra spell slot. No complaints on that, really. Now let's get on to the most important parts of the update, in my opinion at least. Here we have some balancing, including the witch damage and hit points increased, and that is a big deal, because you would have thought that after the last update, witches would be usable at Town Hall 11. Everyone got so hyped up that witches are going to be used, they're going to be awesome just like they used to be, but that simply was not the case, because it just happens to be that they were not strong enough to withstand the Town Hall 11 and barely even get 2 stars on any bases. So the fact that their hit points and damage was increased is a very good addition, and I'm going to have to post some YouTube videos in the future showcasing these troops. So in my opinion, like I already said a couple times, very good that they buffed up the witches. So now the most important part of the update, in my opinion at least, is the Balloon, Dragon, and P.E.K.K.A. improved attack speed. This is a huge deal. It's going to affect me a lot, because I know a lot of people that use dragons, and honestly, I'm a fan of dragons as well. And balloons, they're just crazy. If you look at the replays that I'm showing to you in the background of this whole video, they're all pretty much balloon attacks, 3-starring pretty decent bases. Even I was able to 3-star some bases using balloons, and they were also pretty decent bases. So I really like that. I'm going to start practicing with lava balloon attacks. Do I think they're overpowered? No, I do not, because air attacks are extremely underused, and there's a reason for that. The reason is because they're simply not as strong as ground attacks. And now this buff to dragons, this buff to balloons, really going to increase the amount of air attacks that we see both in farming, trophy pushing, and even war attacks. So I think it's a really good part to balancing out the game and allowing different types of attacks to be used inside of attacks. So now I'm going to talk about the P.E.K.K.A. shortly. I didn't talk about it even though I said it in the first part. So the P.E.K.K.A. improvement of attack speed. So that's also a pretty big one, because P.E.K.K.A.s are super slow. By the time they lift up their heavy ass sword and then drop it back down, it takes a pretty long time, and it can be pretty frustrating when they're almost done with the building, and then when they're lifting up their sword and taking their sweet time, they die before they can get the last shot on the building. So the P.E.K.K.A. improvement speed, I haven't tried it out, but seems like another good feature, and I'm really liking that part. So very quickly here, I want to take the time and talk about some of the minor features that came out, a little bit hidden here, but we have the events tab located on the right side next to the news and more. I'm liking this a lot. As you can see, we have the Hog Rider event right now. It says when the 1 gem collector boost will happen. It says when the first day of Clashmas will occur. So it's just a nice form of interaction with the players. You know, Supercell does not communicate with the people inside of the actual game itself. A small fraction of people actually use the internet to find out about Clash of Clans. Most people play the game completely unknowingly of what is happening outside, what events, what Supercell is planning, what sneak peeks they're making. And I think that this events tab is a really nice way to communicate with the players. And I think that was a good addition, even though minor. Small things are big things, so I think that was very good. So Supercell also mentioned that they are going to be reducing the cost of some buildings and some heroes. I heard that levels between 26 and 40 of the King and Queen have been reduced in terms of cost, and this is a pretty big one. The level of walls going from 9 to 10 has decreased from 3 million to 2 million, and that's a big deal. And I just feel so sorry for those guys that spent so long, you know, developing. If you have maxed out walls at this point, which are level 10 and even level 11, you spend so much time upgrading those walls for 3 million each wall. And at Town Hall 9, if you think about it, there are 250 walls, and if you saved 1 million per wall, which is what you're saving now, you would have 250 million gold right now, which obviously is not possible, but that's just why Supercell is not going to give refunds. I understand it's a ridiculous amount of gold that you had to spend extra that now other people don't, but that's just how it is. The past is the past. If you already upgraded them, you should feel happy for yourself, and there's nothing you can do about it. But, you know, I think it's good helping out the future Clash players upgrade their walls. So hopefully you all enjoyed this video. I spent a lot of time making it, so it would be very appreciative if you could like it, and of course subscribe to the channel. Thank you all for watching. I'm Rebel, and once again, I'm signing out.